Welcome to our deep dive into the biggest stories in AI from 2024. We're going to be looking at the 10 biggest AI news stories of 2024 from CRN. They're a publication for IT solution providers. So this is kind of your shortcut to understanding how AI is really changing the business world. We'll be covering everything from NVIDIA's dominance to the rise of AI agents and even the increasing cyber threats that come with those.
You know, what's fascinating here is that AI is no longer this kind of like futuristic concept, It's actually changing how businesses operate today. And this deep dive, will give you the key trends that you need to know about.
Exactly. And let's start by setting the scene a little bit. Global IT spending is actually projected to reach $5.74 trillion in 2025.
Yeah.
That's a 9% jump, and a big chunk of that is fueled by AI and this thing called Gen AI.
Gen AI stands for generative AI. And imagine tools like ChatGPT. A lot of people use that to write emails or create content. Businesses are using these same tools for software development, marketing, even customer service.
So it's not just individuals using these tools, it's entire companies.
That's right. Gartner research shows that 70% of enterprises are already using ChatGPT for software development. And 65% rely on managed service providers, or MSPs, to guide their Gen AI strategies. These MSPs are like AI consultants, helping businesses navigate this new landscape.
Okay, that makes sense. Gen AI is becoming a big part of the business world. Now let's talk about NVIDIA. This was a huge year for them. Their dominance in the AI chip market was pretty hard to miss.
Absolutely. In Q3 of 2024 alone, NVIDIA's revenue was 75% higher than Intel and AMD combined. To put it simply, they're not just winning, they're dominating.
Wow, 75% higher. That's incredible. What's driving that kind of success? Is it just that they make good chips?
Well, it's more than that. You see, NVIDIA made early investments in what's called accelerated computing. They basically built a whole ecosystem of hardware and software that all work together seamlessly. They've also been very smart forming strategic partnerships with major companies like Dell, HPE, even Amazon Web Services.
So they had a vision, built the right technology, and teamed up with the right partners. That sounds like a winning formula.
Exactly. And they're not slowing down. Their latest innovation is this thing called the Blackwell GPU architecture. It's a huge leap forward in processing power. And they release new chips every single year, making it very difficult for competitors to catch up.
It's like they're setting the pace for the entire industry. So they're staying ahead of the curve with constant innovation. But this AI revolution isn't just about chips and data centers, is it? What about these AI agents that we've been hearing so much about?
AI agents are really one of the most fascinating and potentially transformative developments in AI. These are software programs that are capable of making decisions and taking actions to achieve specific goals, all without any human intervention.
So it's like having a digital employee that can analyze data, make decisions, and even take actions based on what it learns.
That's a great way to put it. Think of it like this. An AI agent is like a superpowered assistant. You give it a goal like, optimize my marketing campaign for maximum ROI. And it will analyze data, adjust strategies, and make decisions to reach that goal all on its own.
That's incredible. But are businesses actually using these AI agents yet, or is this still kind of a futuristic concept?
It's happening right now. Companies like Google Cloud are building platforms specifically for developing these AI agents. And businesses are really starting to see the potential. Imagine AI agents that automate tasks, improve customer experiences, and even assist with complex projects. It's a whole new level of efficiency and intelligence.
It sounds like AI agents could fundamentally change the way we work. But isn't there a risk of relying too much on AI to make decisions? What if something goes wrong?
That's a valid concern. It's something we'll definitely need to address as AI becomes more integrated into our lives. Gartner predicts that by 2028, 15% of daily work decisions will be made by AI agents. And that's a pretty significant shift. Like any new technology, we need to be very mindful of potential challenges and ensure that it's developed and implemented responsibly.
So there's definitely a lot to think about when it comes to AI agents and their impact on the workforce. But before we go too far down that road, let's switch gears a bit and talk about the darker side of AI.
You're right, we can't ignore the risks. One area where AI is causing some serious concerns is cybersecurity. It's important to understand that AI isn't necessarily creating brand new attack methods, but it's making the existing ones way more powerful.
It's like giving cyber criminals, a supercharged toolkit.
Exactly. Imagine a phishing attack. But instead of just a generic email, you get a perfectly crafted message that's personalized to your interests. It's designed to exploit your specific vulnerabilities, and AI can do that. That makes these attacks a lot harder to detect and defend against.
That's pretty scary. Are there any real-world examples of how AI is being used in these attacks?
Yeah. So Phos, a cybersecurity firm, actually uncovered this China-linked pig butchering scam. They were using ChatGPT to automate these conversations with victims. This basically allowed the attackers to really scale up their operations, target a lot more people, and ultimately increase their success rate.
AI is making these scams more sophisticated and more widespread. So what can businesses and individuals do to protect themselves, in this new environment?
Well, the good news is a lot of businesses are taking this threat seriously. They're investing heavily in AI training and certifications for their employees. They're even building these innovation labs to stay ahead of the curve.
It's like they're building up their defenses, AI defenses to combat this darker side.
Precisely. Worldwide Technology, for instance, they invested $500 million in their AI lab and workforce development. They're turning their employees into, AI experts. It's a really smart move because understanding AI is essential if you want to defend against AI-powered attacks.
So knowledge is power in the age of AI.
Absolutely. And it's not just individual companies trying to build up their defenses. Partnerships are also playing a key role in, driving AI adoption and innovation.
So companies are teaming up to fight the good fight, the AI fight.
Exactly. Cisco and NVIDIA, for example, they teamed up to launch this thing called the Nexus Hyperfabric AI Cluster. It's this powerful new infrastructure designed specifically for AI workloads. This kind of collaboration really brings together the best minds and the resources to build that infrastructure that we need for widespread and secure AI deployment.
Sounds like a powerful alliance. Any other examples of companies working together to advance AI, in a safe and responsible way?
Yeah, for sure. Amazon invested $8 billion in Anthropic. That's an AI safety and research company. And they actually made AWS their primary AI training partner. These alliances are really critical for establishing standards and, best practices when it comes to developing AI.
Okay, so we've covered the big players and the security concerns. But how is all of this trickling down to us? To the everyday user? Is AI just something that's happening in, big companies and research labs, or is it actually affecting our daily lives?
It's already making its way into the devices we use every single day, like our PCs. Think of features like Microsoft Copilot and Apple Intelligence.
Right, those are like AI assistants built right into our computers to, make us more productive and creative.
Exactly. Imagine Copilot helping you write a report. Suggesting data points, refining your language in real time, or Apple Intelligence using its understanding of your work habits to kind of predict your needs and suggest helpful actions.
It's like having a super smart assistant, one that knows you better than you know yourself.
And these AI-powered PCs are just the beginning. IDC, a market research firm, predicts that they'll make up 60% of global PC shipments by 2027.
60%. Wow. So AI is becoming an integral part of our daily lives, not just some abstract force that's changing industries.
Absolutely. Speaking of transformations, though, there's another company we can't overlook, Microsoft. They've really gone all in on AI, and their impact is being felt across the entire tech landscape.
Yeah, Microsoft is definitely making big moves in AI. What are some of the, key things we should be aware of?
Well, they launched Microsoft 365 Copilot. It's like this AI assistant for their, popular suite of Office software. And it was so successful that, get this, solution providers actually started selling it as a standalone product in January.
So Copilot's a pretty big deal. Is it, living up to the hype?
Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella calls it the UI for AI, suggesting that it's the bridge between those complex AI capabilities and, the everyday user. It's designed to make AI really accessible and user-friendly.
That makes sense. It's one thing to have powerful AI tools, but it's another to make them easy for people to use. Is this user-friendly approach working? I mean, are businesses buying into it?
Yeah, absolutely. Nadella mentioned that almost 70% of Fortune 500 companies are already using Microsoft 365 Copilot, and their AI business is on track to exceed $10 billion in annual revenue.
Wow, those are some impressive numbers.
Yeah.
It seems like Microsoft is successfully bringing AI to the masses.
Yeah.
But what about other companies? Is anyone else making significant strides in the AI space?
Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, or HPE, they're making strategic moves as well. They partnered with NVIDIA to create this thing called HPE Private Cloud AI. It's this turnkey private cloud solution that's specifically designed for AI projects.
Private cloud. What's the advantage of that over a public cloud like AWS or Azure?
Well, it addresses concerns about data security and privacy. You see, not all businesses are comfortable sending their sensitive data to the public cloud. So HPE is giving them this secure and controlled environment for AI development and deployment.
It's like having the power of the cloud, but with added security and control over your data. Is it working? Our business is interested.
Definitely. HPE's AI systems revenue actually grew by 16% in their latest fiscal quarter, reaching $1.5 billion, with a backlog of over $3.5 billion. It's clear that businesses see the value in HPE's private cloud approach.
It seems like there are many different approaches to AI, from public cloud solutions to these private cloud offerings. What are some of the things that businesses should think about when they're trying to decide which path to take?
I think one of the key things is the level of control and customization they need. Public cloud platforms like AWS and Azure offer this wide range of pre-built AI services that can be deployed very quickly and easily. But if a business really needs more control over their AI environment, then a private cloud solution like HPE's might be a better fit.
So it's about finding the right balance between ease of use and customization. But, beyond the technology itself, there's also the human element to consider.
You're absolutely right. While AI is automating tasks and driving efficiency, it's also creating these new opportunities for collaboration and innovation. And we're seeing this in the rise of AI agents. They can work alongside human employees to really enhance their productivity and their decision-making.
It's not about AI replacing us. It's about AI working with us to solve these complex problems and, to make a more efficient and innovative world.
Exactly. Companies like HPE are also empowering their partners to build these custom AI solutions that are tailored to specific business needs. Their collaboration with Deloitte is a great example. They're working together to create these new generative AI agent applications that are based on HPE private cloud AI.
Partnerships are key to unlocking the full potential of AI. Not just for, the big tech companies, but for businesses of all sizes.
This is really fascinating stuff, and we've covered a lot of ground. But there's one more thing I want to make sure we touch on before we wrap up. We've talked about how AI is changing businesses, from the chips to the security threats. But what about us? What about the impact on individuals? What skills will people need to have to thrive in this AI world?
Well, that's a really important question. As AI starts to automate those routine tasks, skills like critical thinking, creativity, problem solving are going to become even more valuable. We need to learn to work with AI, using its strengths, and, really honing those human abilities.
It's not about competing with AI, it's about working with it. Are there any specific skills or, areas of knowledge that you think will be especially important going forward?
Understanding data is going to be essential. AI runs on data. So being able to collect it, analyze it, interpret it, those are going to be very valuable skills, no matter what industry you're in. Data literacy. Okay, what about creativity, though? Will AI, make creativity obsolete? Or will it actually help us be more creative?
I think it will enhance our creativity. AI tools can help us come up with ideas, explore possibilities, even automate certain tasks. But it's still human ingenuity that drives the creative process.
That's good to hear. So we need to embrace AI as a tool, something that can help us, not something that will replace us. Still, it's a bit daunting to think about all these changes. How can we even start to prepare?
Stay curious. Keep learning. There are so many resources available, courses online, articles, even podcasts like this one. They can all help us understand AI better. And don't be afraid to experiment. Try out different tools, see what they can do, and think about how you can use them in your work and your life.
That's great advice. Stay curious, keep learning. Don't be afraid to experiment. So to wrap things up, let's go over some of the key takeaways from our deep dive into the AI world of 2024. What were the big things that happened, and what do they mean for all of us?
Well, first, we saw NVIDIA really dominating the AI chip market. They're driving this AI revolution, and their innovations are going to be shaping the industry for a long time to come.
It's like they're the ones building the engine for this whole thing.
Yeah.
And they're not slowing down.
Second, those AI agents we were talking about, they're not just some future thing. They're here now, automating tasks, changing how we work. It's a challenge, sure, but it's also a huge opportunity, and it's something we need to be ready for.
We need to learn and adapt, develop those skills to thrive in this new world.
Right. The third, cybersecurity threats. They're getting more advanced because AI is giving those criminals new tools. We all need to be proactive and protect ourselves and our businesses.
Staying informed, keeping our data safe. That's essential.
And lastly, all that investment in AI that we're seeing, it tells us AI is here to stay. Businesses are putting a lot of resources into it. AI training, building labs, working together to use it effectively and stay ahead of the game.
It's not just a trend, it's a total transformation. And it's going to keep changing our world in ways we can't even imagine. So as we wrap up our deep dive into AI in 2024, we hope you've learned a thing or two and that you're maybe even a bit curious to learn more. Keep exploring, keep learning, and stay tuned for more deep dives into all the amazing things that are happening in our world.